Chairman, members of the commission, my name is Stacy Street. I'm one of the criminal court judges in the 1st Judicial District. That covers Carter, Johnson, Unicoi, and Washington counties. We're here with our fellow judges to talk to you about this, and I want you to know we fully support the resolution that you spoke with, and this is what we're coming to talk about. You're probably the 7th or 8th county that we've appeared in front of, not including some cities and towns. What I want to talk to you about just a little bit is about the opioid addiction and how it affects not only our court system, but also your counties. Judge Rice and I, in the 1st District, last year we closed almost 6,000 charges against defendants. Judge Duggar and Judge Pearson do a similar amount in the 3rd District. Judge Goodwin does in the 2nd District. 6,000 cases we're talking about in a year, charges against people. And the reason why it's important to you is about 85% of those cases that we're closing, that we're seeing in court, have to do with the drug addiction. Whether it be opioids, methamphetamine, fentanyl, heroin, marijuana, whatever it may be. And it's not just the ones that you know about, selling methamphetamine or so forth. It's the robberies, it's the burglaries, it's the domestic assaults, it's the breaking into businesses, all to fuel that opioid addiction. And I've been doing this for 30 years, practicing law or being a judge. Some of us have been doing it longer, but we'll all tell you the exact same thing. Those people that we see, those 6,000 a year that we're seeing, they fall into one of 4 categories. Every now and then you'll get one that is literally did something stupid and was in the wrong place and made a bad mistake. It's a very small amount. Second kind you see is someone that has some type of mental health issue. They can't appreciate what they've done wrong. That's not a huge category, but that's a category that needs to be dealt with also. The 3rd category are those people that have some type of addiction, whether it be to drugs, alcohol, or whatever. That they need something other than incarceration. And the 4th category are just those people that are just, excuse my language, just damn mean. And those jail cells that we've got, and those jail cells that you have to fund and ask about and have to pay for, that's who should be in those jail cells as category number 4, those mean people. The problem you get with addiction, though, is that people are so addicted to these drugs. And you know, we talk about opioids often, now it's methamphetamine. Your sheriff's here, ask Kim. Ask Kim, they're getting awarded because they're catching all this stuff coming through Hawkins County. They commit so many crimes to fuel those addictions that somebody's in category number 3 that's just a drug user. They start committing so many crimes, they start looking like somebody in category number 4 that needs to be in jail. And we put them in jail as long as the law will allow us, and they get right back out. As Judge Goodwin says, they go right back to their same playmates, right back on their same playground, and they come right back in here. I live in Carter County. Carter County's got 52,000 residents. They've had 52,000 residents for the last 73 years. In the 30 years I've been practicing law, our jail has tripled. Tripled with no increase in population. And the reason why is drugs. And we've got to do something different. We've got to do something different than a revolving door. I heard the gentleman before talk about the Black Robe Brigade. Well, this is really a Black Robe Brigade. What we're trying to do is trying to do something different. We're trying to do something different to set up something for those people in category number 3 that's got an addiction. And I'm telling you right now, 10 years ago, if a criminal court judge would have stood in front of any county commission, any city, and said, look, we don't need to put drug dealers in jail, we need to get them help, they'd have shot us on the courthouse lawn. The reason why we have a sympathetic ear now is that every single person on this commission, every single person that's sat out here knows someone in your family, somebody you care about, somebody you love, or somebody that's important to you, have battled drug addiction. What we're doing is not working. So the reason that we're coming to you tonight, and the reason why we've gone to Sullivan, Carter, and City of Kingsport, Unicoi County, and Hawkins County a couple of weeks ago, is because you were a plaintiff in the Baby Doe lawsuit. And we're not talking about any other drug thing that the sheriff was talking about, or the thing that was settled with the State Attorney General's office. It's the one where District Attorney Armstrong was the plaintiff. Hawkins County received, I think it's $1.65 million, plus a little bit. Got $1.65 million. That money has no restrictions on it whatsoever. You can do whatever you want to with that. You can buy squad cars, you can buy sewer lines, you can buy internet access, you can do whatever you want to with it. What we're going to ask you to do though is if you would hold that Baby Doe money until we can come back to you with a proposal in line with that resolution that you read. That resolution was a result of what we're doing, what we're trying to get everyone to do. And that what we're trying to do is this. There are all kinds of programs out there that are good for people that are addicted. A lot that are not good. Some of the programs that are good are dependent upon people that just say, I've had enough, I'm going to turn myself, I want to get help. There's really no structure for that person that they decide to go off the wagon or go back to their playground. There's nothing you can do to help. What we're asking you to do is to adopt a residential recovery court model. Judge Boniface here in the 3rd District has a recovery court. Judge Goodwin runs one in the 2nd District. Judge Rice and myself run one in the 1st District. And it's an intensive program whereby we treat people differently when they come into our courts. And we're not talking about sex offender or violent offenders or anything like that. We're talking about people that have severe drug problems, and we bring them in. And they have intensive probation. They have classes that teach them how to be a good son, a good boyfriend, how to balance a checkbook. We help them get their driver's license back. We buy them dentures so they get a little bit more appearance, whatever that person may need. And it's a great model, but it's not as good as it could be. And the reason why is we try to help these people while they're sitting in the same playground, in the same playmates, as Judge Goodwin says. The one thing that we're missing in our recovery court program, and the one thing that all of these other programs that do some good, the missing is a residential recovery center. And I'm not talking about a 28-day go dry out somewhere. There's very few slots in the state of Tennessee for a residential treatment facility. And when I'm talking about a residential treatment, I'm talking about an honest to goodness 12 to 16 month program where they're inpatient and they're receiving help every single day. Judge Rice and I have been on a crusade for about 7 years trying to find a place to do this. Judge Goodwin's hopped on board. Judge Boniface has hopped on board. We tried really hard to get the Green Valley facility when it closed down, but it's so tied up with federal monies and different agencies that we couldn't get it, and they wanted about $50 million to renovate it, and that just was no longer an option. About mid last year, we found out in Carter County there's a prison, Roe Mountain Work Camp, with 185 beds. It wasn't a true prison, it's a work camp where they have work crews. And I know for a fact some of those work crews, the Carter County Workhouse came to Hawkins County and laid block for some buildings down here, different things that you've had. Those are the ones you see working on the side of the road. The state of Tennessee, in spite of spending $100,000 there last year to put a new roof on it, decided to shutter that building in September. It's in pristine condition. It is the exact setup that we need for a residential recovery center. We have talked to enough people, we have gotten enough attention that we feel very good about the state of Tennessee going to transfer that and lease it to a board that we have set up, or going to set up, for $1 a year to let us try to run a residential recovery center. This is going to be an honest to goodness inpatient drug and alcohol facility, not 28 days to go drive somewhere. It's an honest, where they're going to get help with all the life skills they need. It is not a medication-assisted treatment facility. There will be no methadone, no Suboxone, any other drug in this facility, with one exception. It's a drug called Vivitrol. It's a monthly injection, but it doesn't get anybody high, it doesn't do anything. All it does is if you take another drug after you've had a Vivitrol injection, it makes you deathly sick. It doesn't kill you, it makes you sicker than a dog. You can tell if somebody's using drugs. We've got community partners that are willing to help us with this. There is going to be a county-wide vocational school that Carter County's putting together, that all the county high schools are going to go there for heat and air, welding, small engine, cosmetology, things of that nature. Meat cutting, they've got all kinds of different programs. County Mayor in Carter County has agreed that in the evenings at night, when the high school students are not or any longer in that facility, to let us ship people down from this facility. So while they're getting drug and alcohol treatment, they can also get training in a vocational field and come out of there not only in recovery, but also have be certified to get some kind of job. And instead of being a burden on the taxpayers, to be someone that can be a tax-paying citizen and earn their keep. This program is different than anybody has ever done in this area. This program will make all of those other programs stronger. It's hard to get somebody into recovery when they're right where they got into drug addiction to begin with. With this program, you can change their thinking, you can change their genetic makeup as far as the drug goes, and you can make a huge difference. And that's what this program can do. It would make every other program you're talking about strong. Our ask is you hold that $1.65 million you've got. As I said, it's your money. You can do whatever you want to with it. We're just asking you to hold that to let us come back to you with this plan. And the plan would be that all of the counties or towns or cities that contribute to their baby dough money or a portion of it to this program, they would sit on a board of directors and they would decide who the treatment providers would be and how that facility would be funded. The Black Rope Brigade back here does not have the power to take your money or hold your money or spend your money. We're going to let you decide how that is. We're going to let you decide what the structure of this program would be. And we'll simply implement it and run it according to our recovery court guidelines. So we're asking you not to spend your money, and then we're going to come back and ask you, please contribute that money or some of your money back to this program. And you decide what the makeup's going to be. You got a lot of needs in this county. You got a lot of needs in Carter County. I got a lot of needs in Sullivan, Washington, Johnson, Unicoi, everywhere we go. We know you do. This money that you got is not free. This money that you received in this baby dough lawsuit, because there was a child in the Johnson City Medical Center, the first breath that child took was addicted to opioids. Because the mother abused opioids. Because the company oversold them, oversold the doctors, and they were overprescribed. And it's 10,000 times that one little baby does. Johnson City Medical Center is the #1 facility in the United States for children born addicted to opioids. The neonatal intensive care unit over there is the busiest in the nation. Sheriff Lawson can tell you If this area is Meth Mountain, we're sitting right on the summit of it. It's not just opioids anymore. It's methamphetamine, it's heroin, it's fentanyl. Judge Ross can give you some figures on the number of overdose deaths that were in the county next door, in Sullivan County, within the last 30 days. It's not bad people. It's not the drug dealers that are overdosing. It's the users. It's the people we know that are addicted for whatever reason. You can spend your money on whatever you want to. But the district attorneys, General Armstrong, General Stallvis in the 2nd District, General Baldwin in the 1st District, came to us and said, we like what you said, we think this is what the money should be used for, and see if you can convince the counties to let us use the money for this. Because they know if we don't do something different, you're going to have to build bigger jails, you're going to have to build bigger health departments. Sheriff Lawson's budget is going to have to double for the medical care you're going to have to provide for these drug addicted people that are in your jails, because they're the ones that have liver problems, heart problems, and everything else. We're asking you, we weren't aware of that, Mr. Mayor, about your resolution, but you stated in much shorter form than I have what an epidemic we have. And this money was just a small payment. It doesn't repay you for 1/10 of what this county has spent because of the opioid addiction and the methamphetamine problem that's rampant throughout East Tennessee. But it's a start. If you buy sewer lines and fire trucks and things with this money, it'll benefit you. The Washington County Commissioner said something one time. The water line burst in this building right now, and you put down new carpet, but you new board, new wood, new platforms, new chairs and everything, but you don't fix the leak, you still got a leak. You don't take this money to help stop this leak, to stop this and do something different. You're going to have to face it again. We're asking that you hold your money. Let us come back to you with the finalized plan, with the approval that the government, that the governor and his board, and everyone's on board with this to give us that facility, and allow us to use this money to do something. I'm going to yield whatever other time you're willing to listen to us, to any of the other judges, and I'll be willing to answer any questions that anyone may have.
Commissioner Burrell, you have a question?
No, let them go ahead and speak, you know.
Chairman, Commissioners, I'll be brief. The only reason I wanted to come up and add to what Judge Street said is that when I started my recovery court back in 2015, right after I took office, I was fortunate enough to be one of the few recovery courts in the state of Tennessee that had access to an inpatient community corrections program in Kingsport called the John R. Hay House. I don't know if any of you all remember or were familiar with that, but I could take someone out of the jail, put them in recovery court, make them live in a residential facility where they got treatment every day. Not 28 days, not just for an hour or two a day. They were in treatment in the beginning when they went into the Hay House all day long, 4 days a week, sometimes 5. And what I wanted to add to what Judge Street said is that it works. So we're not coming to you with the idea of a program that might work, that some other place in West Tennessee says may work, or some academic person wrote a study and says, hey, if you do it this way, it may work better. I'm here to tell you from the front lines at ground zero of this addiction problem in Kingsport, it works if you can take them immediately into a residential program if that's what they do. And most of these people are so far into addiction that that is exactly what they do. Thank you.
want to just take one moment to make a slight distinction here. Some of you may be wondering about, well, don't we already have a recovery court program in Hawkins County? And the answer to that is we have one in the General Sessions Court, which deals with misdemeanor cases. This program that we're talking about would be geared more towards felony offenders that would have longer sentences, and which provides an opportunity we currently don't have in this area. I spoke with Sheriff Lawson about it. He endorses this program because he's very much aware of the people that just keep coming back and just keep coming back. I spoke to General Armstrong. He endorses this program and gave me express permission to state that to you. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have, but I just wanted to make sure that we understood that on the General Sessions Court level, there is a recovery court program that operates there, but this is a different type of program. It's for offenders. On your misdemeanor offenders, you're capped out at 11 months and 29 days unless if you have some kind of consecutive sentencing. So this would be a program for offenders that have longer sentences that are going to potentially either, if we put them on probation and they're drug addicted and they don't get some kind of rehabilitation, they're going to violate their probation. They're going to come back and they're going to be housed in a local jail unless if their sentence is long enough that TDOC wants to take them back to one of the state prisons. But generally what they do, if it's not a long sentence or it's not a violent offender, they just keep them right here in the local jail. And so it's important, I think, to note that this would provide a service that is not readily available in our area currently. So I'll yield any more time to any other judges, but I just wanted to make that clear. If you have any questions, certainly feel free to ask me. I'll be around.
Good evening, I'm John Duggar, I'm your criminal court judge for the last 15 years. I'll tell you that the numbers have gone up. 15 years ago, I could do the arraignments and the pleas when I came back in before it started term of court in one day. Now it's taken 2 full days, and some in Greene and Hamilton County it takes 3 days because of the number of cases. There is a need. We need something in East Tennessee. Now this money, you can spend it on whatever you want to, but it was paid as basically damages to each county for the harm to the community. And some of this money should be spent for the damages, and that's for the people that are drug addicted to try to fix them somewhat. And some people, I've had some of my friends, some people say, oh, they're drug addicts, you can't do anything with them. There are some, they're salvageable. They've got children in Hawkins County schools. I guarantee you there's some children in Hawkins County school that their parents are drug addicted. Their grandparents are raising them, trying to, on Social Security. They're suffering. They've worked their whole lives, the grandparents, but they're struggling to raise their grandchildren because their children are drug addicted. So we've got to try something different. And this program, they've been working on it and doing a lot of research, and we need to do something different. Some of this money needs to go to the damages it was caused, not for sewer lines or something else, but for the problem for what it was paid for. So I hope y'all will support the program. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? Mr. Braille?
First off, I want to thank you judges for doing what you're doing for Hawkins County, because we really do need this program. And I'd like to amend this resolution to take the baby doe money and set it aside till they come back with the plan, so we don't spend it, and others like to set the money aside until they come back with the plan. That's my motion.
Motion to amend by Commissioner Harrell that we set this money aside until a plan can be presented to us. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there a second to the amendment?
Mr. Chairman.
On the board, who seconded that? I'm sorry. Housewright. Commissioner Housewright second. Is there any discussion on that amendment? Can Can we vote on the board on that?
Let
or
me
we
make
need-
sure I have that amendment
Okay.
correct. To
You
set us,
restate the amendment.
Set aside the baby doe money till the judges and whoever else is involved comes back with the plan to tell us what we need to do to try to get in this program.
Does everyone understand the amendment?
is this called anything besides baby doe money?
That's basically what we
All right.
know it as, so.
All right, I'm gonna restate this. It may be just a little different. You correct me if it needs to be different. To set aside the baby doe money until a plan for recovery court is presented to the Hawkins County Commission. Is that good?
We have a motion to amend and a second. Is there any discussion on that? Can we vote on the board?
Yes.
Everyone ready to cast your vote on the amendment? Cast your vote.
$19 yes, 2 absent.
Amendment carries. Now we're back on the resolution as amended. Did you wish to speak again on that, Mr. Burt? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to give a little insight on why I introduced this resolution. I saw it as an opportunity for different counties to get together and talk and discuss issues. Opioid treatment, it's not a Hawkins County problem, it's not a Unicoi County problem, it's not a Carter County problem. It's a regional problem, it's also a nationwide problem. A little bit of personal background. I have a daughter that's a nurse that works in labor and delivery in the NIC unit, and I know firsthand from seeing the pain in my daughter's face what she witnesses. Just this past Sunday, I sat in the local restaurant. People behind me was discussing drug abuse, addiction, things like that. You know, I see it as an opportunity to talk. Where it goes from here, who knows? But I think it's appropriate. Thank you.
Is any other discussion on the resolution? Everyone ready to vote? At the resolution as amended. Everyone cast your vote.
$19 yes, 2 absent.
Resolution carries. Thank you, Judge.